Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining our professional services webinar on AI and automation. My name is Ali Pakalnis, and I will help facilitate our webinar today. Before we get started, here are a few tips on using the Zoom platform so you can engage with our presenters and have the best experience possible. You should see a Zoom toolbar with icons for Ask a Question and Raise Your Hand. Please use the Ask a Question feature to submit a question or comment. If you need any assistance, click on the Raise Your Hand button and I will connect with you to help. We encourage you to ask questions throughout the presentation and we will do our best to answer them all. If we didn't answer your question, we will follow up with you personally after the presentation. Within 72 hours of the webinar, you will receive a link to download the slide deck and presentation. And with that, I'd like to introduce you to our presenters today, Lindy Antonelli, Annie Evans, and Kelsey Campbell.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. I'm Lindy Antonelli. I'm a partner here at Armanino. I'll tell you a little bit about our firm momentarily, but I head up our business development for our Sage Intacct Cloud practice and work very closely with AI as well. So I will be one of the presenters today. Annie?
Thanks, Lindy. I'm Annie Evans. I'm a director on our Sage Intacct team. I've been with Armanino for the past 6.5 years working on implementing technology for our clients using Sage Intacct and really love helping clients adopt new technology and find better ways to do their job to find more time to get the data and analytics that they're looking for in their roles. I'll pass it to you, Kelsey.
Thanks, Annie. Hi, everyone. My name is Kelsey. I'm a director here at Armanino, and I am in our business outsourcing services practice, and I'm also the co-lead of our professional services industry for the firm. So I work day to day with professional service firms, whether it's law firms, accounting firms, consulting firms, marketing service companies, helping them figure out their outsourced accounting, fractional CFO, payroll, HR, anything in that area. Our team steps in to help. And then I also, as I mentioned, I co-lead the firm-wide initiative for pro services. So all of these topics today we've put together based on our market analysis, based on client questions and demand. And so we're really excited to present this all to you today.
Thanks, Kelsey. We sure have the experts here today. Please feel free to ask questions, put them in the chat, and reach out to Allie if you have any questions on that. So our agenda will be, we're just going to do an overview of our firm and our professional services practice. We're going to talk about Sage Intacct and why it's so powerful for ProServe. We're going to do a deeper dive on the top 5 strategies for success in modernizing and using automation and AI in your business. Then Annie is going to do a live demo of Sage Intacct so we can see it in action. And again, we've got time for Q&A at the end of the, but put your in the chat. And with that, I'll give you a firm overview. So we have 25 offices around mainly North America. We have 2 in India and 1 in as well. We're going on 3,000 employees. We actually cover over 41 states where we have a presence, and we hover around the 20th largest CPA accounting and technology firms in the US. Okay, next. We like to, showcase some of our awards and recognition that we've gotten over the years. So we really pride ourselves on our culture and, work hard to maintain our award status. So you could see we're B certified. We just re-upped that award. We frequently get the top 10, the top best firms. We have a lot of accolades to our names across the country. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Kelsey to go into a deeper dive in our ProServe industry.
Thanks, Lindy. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm the co-lead of our professional services industry here at Armanino. We have been a strategic industry at Armanino since January, but we've been servicing professional service clients for over 20 years. Now that we're a strategic industry, we get a little bit more marketing money. And so we get to do different events and initiatives for clients. And so a few of the things that we focused on this year have been some roundtables for professional service clients in general. And we've also done some specific ones for law firms on the topics of succession planning. So figuring out what's next for your company Do you have a key successor identified within your company? Are you looking to go through M&A? We've also talked a lot about AI, which we're going to cover in even more detail today. Our goal is just to be here for our clients. We understand what's happening in the industry. We have insight to what other professional service companies are doing. So please go ahead and reach out to us if you have any questions. And on the next slide, we'll talk about all of the different areas that we service our professional service clients. So law firms, financial service firms, life science, design services, education and training, management consulting, advertising, marketing, PR. These are all of the industries we serve and then some. These are really like the main highlights for us. And so what we do for these industries is everything from tax, audit, to reviews if you have any bank covenants that you need for a line of credit or a loan. We also do, as I mentioned, business outsourcing services, so accounting, finance, HR at fractional side. And then what we're talking about today too, Lindy, Annie, and their team, they do a ton of Intact and technology implementations. So our goal for professional service firms is to help them scale, automate, and figure out ways to have more operational efficiency. And so one of the ways that we can do that is through technology. And so that's what we'll talk about here today. But if there's anything else you could think of from an accounting consulting perspective that Armanino could help you with, we're here. We have experts in pretty much every category for professional services. So we would love to connect. Annie, you can go to the next slide. And then just finally, like, why Armanino for professional services? As I mentioned, we have deep industry expertise. We have clients that are working with businesses just like you every day. We know what makes business owners tick. We know what makes them excited and happy, how to grow, how to prepare for the next phase of business. And so we have a deep bench that can help with that. We're also here to help as your business grows and whatever your scale plans are. So we start out with service companies where there are just a few people, and then they turn into 300, 400, 500, 1,000 plus people. And so we can grow with you at Armanino. And we also understand there's a lot of nuances for compliance within the industry, especially on the law firm side. So if you're a law firm dealing with trust accounting, dealing with the CTOP compliance in California, we have experts here at Armanino that can help you handle all of that. And as I mentioned, our technology enabled solutions. So we will talk a little bit more about those today, but I will turn it back over to Lindy.
Great. Thank you, Kelsey. So we know at ProServe firms, there are really a few key challenges or pain points that you may be experiencing, maybe not all of these, but we tried to highlight the top 4. Of course, your revenue is based upon getting billed. That's the concept of it. So we know that there's a shrinking talent market. There's increased pressures to find the top talent. I mean, we're a ProServe firm as well. So we have the same, experience. We know that there is more compliance and complexities in our environment today and how to navigate that. And also there are operational challenges, and then driving demands. Your clients are asking for things and they're demanding things. They want top level of service, but they also want top technology solutions. Most of the professional services firms that I work with, that I see, and they come to me, are either on an old QuickBooks and they're outgrowing it, or they're probably on an old Solomon or an old Great Plains. And most of you in the audience today, you may be in the same boat. Okay, well, QuickBooks, ain't going to cut it for a company that's growing. And certainly old Solomon, old Great Plains, anything old, I call that legacy, they're being sunsetted today. So, you're at the right table here, so to speak, the right webcast here to learn more about our automation and AI solutions in the world of Sage Intacct and Armanino. So how do we solve for them? Go to the next slide, please, Annie. You have to choose the right platform. And I say, why Sage Intacct? Because first of all, it is the only ERP platform that's endorsed by the AICPA, the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants. Many of you might be accountants in the room today. You know how important that is. Most professional services firms, for tax purposes, do have multiple legal entities and consolidations. I work with several that are global that have different entities. The dimensional accounting in Sage Intacct is absolutely top notch. Sage built the Intacct platform based upon its dimensions. So it is very easy to tag data with a real-time account number, but then also be able to drill down and access data. In a few minutes, Annie is going to actually demo the Intacct systems. You're going to see it live and in person, but you'll see that it's a fresh and modern interface. It feels easy to use. The number 4 or 5 guy at Intacct who is in charge of the interface was actually at Intuit. So he originally built the interface to be as easy as like a QuickBooks is at the look of it, at the feel of it. So it's nice and easy to get into it, but it's very, very powerful behind the scenes. So it's a little bit about Sage Intacct, but I want to talk to you about our, those going back to those 4 major business challenges that I see you all facing and what our strategies are for success. So we've identified 5 strategies for success, not only by partnering with us for your Sage Intacct implementation, but also as our deep expertise in automation and AI. Okay, these are key. I have gone to a fair share of conferences. You may have as well. I was just at 2, one in November, one in October, and 80 to 90% of the content was on automation and AI. Okay, so that's what people are talking about. When you think about AI, artificial intelligence, you really can't do it unless you have some kind of automation to begin with. So you have to have stable processes. You can't use AI on a spreadsheet really and have it be that effective. Okay, Microsoft Copilot, yes, it's in Excel, but you need some sort of automation to get you to the value of the AI. So we're going to talk about how you can move forward with automation and AI. Our first strategy is on AI-powered data integration. Okay, so not every system is the be-all, end-all. You do need to integrate systems usually. Sage Intacct is built on open APIs. Okay, that's the way that they connect to other systems. And you've got your professional services automation, you've got your ERP, which is your back office accounting, and your CRM. They all have to work in concert together, as well as your billing systems. Most likely that's in the ERP, but it could be an ancillary system as well. A lot of pro-serve firms that I work with use the CRM in tandem with ERP, PSA, and billing. So you need to have the data talk to each other. Okay. You need seamless data flow in these systems. Okay. You also need a single source of truth for financial data, or this is never going to work. So by tying in the best in class, best of breed systems all together, you get that single source of truth. And what does that result in? Okay, fewer reconciliation, faster audits, compliance, better financial information. And with AI, this is my talk track. I've spoken at several conferences this fall on AI. I'm happy to share my findings with you as well there. But I say in the world of AI, stop doing and start reviewing. Make your job quicker, make your job faster, empower your people using AI to stop doing everything manually and start reviewing the work of AI. Okay, that's a little bit on our strategy 1. Strategy 2, our second strategy, is really on time and expense capture, on making it intelligent. Okay, how can you link into Outlook calendars, for instance, and predict by the appointments that are on the calendars of your people what they were working on all day? Okay, that's everybody's using Outlook these days. That's a great way to start your data entry capture because it's about billings. It's about bookings for sure when when your salesperson signs the contract, but it's in the end, it's about capturing the billing and billing it out and reporting on it. So, it's how, to do that. It's really automating, it's fraud detection, it's looking at people's calendars, it's being intelligent about your time and expense capture. And the outcome of that, you are going to eliminate revenue leakage. Something that's not billed, will never be able to be captured or turned into for you. So this is a huge strategy and very important to automate this and use AI around it. Let's go to our third. So our third strategy is about, okay, once you've captured the time and expense, okay, how do you bill it and how do you recognize your revenue? Okay, well, AI is all over this one too, because AI can predict or give you recommendations on how that should be billed. AI goes into data and, can see what the meeting calendar invite was about and see what that meeting was about and what did that result in and how many people were on the call or the meeting, how many from your firm, how many from the client. It can go in to do all that and suggest billing recommendations. For sure, around billing and RevRec, there is compliance. 606 just recently came out a few years ago. You may be in the throes of that. You may need to, periodically go back and reevaluate whether you fall into the throes of 606 or some other revenue recognition standard. Also, there are changes to contracts over time. Maybe your contract with your client renewed, or maybe there was some clause or stipulations mid contract period that you now need to take advantage of or be alerted to get that billed. So you need to have that and have AI help you with that. And then again, what's the outcome on this? Well, it's predictable cash flow. I mean, that's the bottom line. Cash is king. If you don't bill it, you're never going to collect it. And that's how that's how successful ProServe companies are growing, is they're tightening their ship and they're getting this information automated and put AI around it. Let's go to our fourth strategy, fourth of 5, and generative AI for forecasting and advisory. AI really was founded about 60 years ago, but it's finally gotten to the point over the last couple of years with the horsepower, with the computing power, with the data that's in AI, that you can use it for forecasting, for predicting, and for advisory. Okay, it's finally to that point. It's finally big enough and robust enough that you can actually use AI. You can benchmark against your peer firms. You can forecast what the demand is going to be. That helps you with hiring and resource allocation. You can better predict your profitability. I mean, instead of sitting there in a black hole, what is my profit going to be this month? What can I tell the board? What can I tell the owner of the business? Can I afford to hire that person? Can I afford to move to the cloud and get off of legacy systems? These give you better decisions, better ways to invest your money, and better ways to grow. When you have these insights, you can better, I say here the outcome. What's the outcome? Data-driven growth. I mean, that's what it is. Use AI to help forecast the future. I can do a whole session on AI. If you want to stay in contact with me, you can follow me on LinkedIn. You can follow me. You can email me. Our emails are going to be at the end of this deck. But I do a lot of training on AI and helping to modernize the back office. We will probably be doing those into the new year. So I was just doing them in person. I just held one a few weeks ago in Chicago, is where I'm home based. Annie was there with me. So I did it, and it's all about how to prompt and all this stuff. It's very, very cool. You'll have to catch me. I'll probably do it in 2026. Allie, who's on the meeting with us here, she and I are going on a roadshow tour this next year as well. So feel free to follow me and connect with me on that, and more to come on that next year in a city near you. Okay. The last strategy that I've identified from meeting with clients and talking with people is really real-time insights. I've got some KPIs and alerts here, but I'm going to, let Annie actually show you a demo. She's going to be talking to you first about the roadmap that Sage Intacct has for AI and automation. And then she's going to go into a live demo. Then we have some other considerations for implementation. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Annie and off these slides. And I'll be looking for the chat. I'll start to get the questions together.
Thank you, Lindy. So I'm going to talk next about the Sage Intacct roadmap. So if anybody on the call is already using Sage Intacct, we have quarterly releases that come out four times a year with a lot of things that have come in from from people using the system, improvements, and areas that we want to continue to expand. There's a lot coming up related to AI that are really going to help end users to take advantage of the functionality in the system to continue to streamline their workflows, to make things easier. So a few of the things that are coming up are a closed workspace. So basically, this is going to be a centralized hub in Sage Copilot to help track the closed tasks. So there's a checklist right now in there. This is going to build upon that to help accelerate the close process. One of the things that is talked about a lot at Sage Future over the past few years is this continuous close. So instead of having this month-end close where you're doing all this work and you stop so you have a point in time that you can look at it, that the whole month you're working on closing the books and you're doing those tasks as the month goes on. So you can look at real-time information instead of that point of time our month is closed. This is going to help build on that, build that momentum. We also have enhanced AP automation. So right now in Sage Intacct, there is already AP automation where your vendors can email to an email address their invoice, and Sage Intacct is going to create a draft invoice. It's going to use AI to read as much as it can from that invoice. As you use it, it continues to get better. It'll fill in your information that you need and allows the user to, instead of go in and key in all that information where you could have gaps in information or incorrect coding, it's going to fill in that for you. And again, like Lindy said before, we're going from the data entry piece to review. So instead of keying all the data, you're going in and having that first pass review, having it improve every time it comes in, and we're just building on that functionality that's there, just going to continue to get better. Also, we're going to talk a little bit about this when I get into the demo about the PO matching and some match tolerances if we have time at the end. Next one is continuous assurance and reconciliation automation. So there's more and more coming out about the subledger reconciliation assistant that's going to help make sure that our subledger ties out. We've got all of our entries posted, all of our draft bills that are dated within the month get posted before we get to the end of the month, just to make sure that we always have that clear tie out between the subledger and the GL account. This is going to flag discrepancies. I can tell you I've worked on hundreds of implementations, and a lot of our managed service clients who've been using the system for a while, sometimes we'll come back and have that discrepancy. It's hard to work through it and get it all corrected. Once this is just another way that we've got this like continuous assurance so that we keep that aligned and we keep it in check. Cash flow prediction and optimization. This is predictive forecasting using our AP AR trends. Again, it's using the data that you have in your system to help predict what's going to happen. So instead of looking back at history, it's really looking at what we've done to understand what will be coming in the future and help us get better. Developers and integration tools for Copilot. I'm really excited about this one. I know our team does a lot of APIs to help our clients make mass updates. I think there's a lot coming out in these next releases where we're making it easier using Copilot to be able to do those things. And it's something our team can definitely help train on and help roll that out so that your teams can take advantage of the functionality as well. And the last one is generative and natural language UX enhancements. So one of the things that I always talk up when we're getting into a new implementation is the help within Sage Intacct. It's one of the areas where I've learned a lot of information as I've gotten better and better at Sage Intacct. It's always up to date with all the new releases, and there's so much valuable information in there. This is going to help even make it easier so that you can ask questions naturally and get an automated response rather than clicking through information to find what you need. So super exciting on the things that are going to be coming out near in hopefully 2025. But If anybody is interested in more information about these, please reach out to us. If you're on managed services or in an implementation, you can talk to your consultant, or our contact details will be on the last slide. We also have quarterly webinars for our release reviews where we will go through all of the highlights as they come out. So reach out if you're interested in those. And then additional information for 2026 and beyond, we've got more of this autonomous workflow orchestration coming through. So continuing to make this continuous close where we're not focused on the month, we're rather focused on continually making sure that we have real-time data in the system. Full close and finance operations, continuing kind of that next horizon where we can go with our close reconciliation forecast going forward. And then the last one on this slide is industry specific intelligence and SMB focus. So this is really embedding this industry focus, just like we're talking about today, rolling out more things that are specific to industries to really drive the usage of Intact to get what you need as a professional services company out of the system. So continued focus on that from Sage in the future.
They actually call out professional services as one of their top 3 industries that they're focusing on. So I think that's great. It's, another reason why you should consider moving to Sage Intacct if you haven't done so already.
Absolutely. Okay, so next we're going to jump into Intact and we will. Oh, go ahead, Lindy.
Let's go. Let's get the demo.
Okay, so I'm going to pull up Intact and show you guys a few examples of areas where we can really see the impact of what we've talked about. I think the last real-time strategic update that Lindy talked about is where we want to start, kind of these data-driven insights using our data. So what I'm going to show you to start with is some dashboards that we've got built in our professional services instance here. So the first thing I'm going to show you is a dashboard, and we're going to look at some role-based dashboards that we've got built out. So the first one we'll take a look at is our CFO. And you can see that there's a lot of different role-based dashboards that we have here. So these can be set up specifically for the type of user with the data that is relevant to them at the level that they're looking for. So if we jump onto this CFO dashboard here, we're going to see reports that are very high level. So the information that we've got for the CFO is company performance. So we can see our detailed lines here where we've got our revenue, our costs, our net income by month, and we've got a chart here. Now, one of the great things about this is we've got these filters up on the top. So every month we can come in and update these filters. We can look at it as of this date. We can also filter by location. So right now I'm looking at the US, all of our US based entities here. But you do have the option to update that and refresh your dashboard based on those updated filters on the top. So if we scroll down a little bit, we also have these performance cards here. Performance cards give you a KPI where you're going to see really high level specific information that we've set on here with your comparison. So we see here revenue services compared against budget. Let's take a look at some more detail about this direct labor cost. So one of the great things about Intact is it is going to allow us to drill into our data. So if I click on this number here, it's going to take me into a report. So this is the report that the dashboard is pulling the information from. This is showing us our billable hours this month versus last month. If I click in even further, so anywhere we see these blue hyperlinks, I can drill in further. And I love the ability to get into the granular detail from that high level view. So the CFO can come in and look at that big picture. And when they see something that is maybe an outlier or something they want to get more information, click in. Now we're on a general ledger report, but I can continue to click in here And this is going to open one level down. So now I'm in the journal entry that was created. And I can again go one level down. This is coming from a timesheet. So I can drill all the way down to the timesheet where I can review the details. So
Andy,
great
I've got a
insight.
question coming in here. It's, you know, the person is saying that this looks like it took a long time to set up. What's required for an internal team to implement this, to set all this up, in terms of data migration and setup and everything, training?
Really good question. So out of the box with Sage Intacct, you are going to get some pre-built dashboards. They are not these dashboards that we're showing today. These are definitely customized for professional services for the way that we have the system set up. During our implementations, we always have training on dashboards and reporting. So as a new user, you have the ability to set up reports and dashboards and kind of build these out. It does take some time, and it also takes time to make sure that you've got the underlying data to support the dashboard. That's something we train on during implementations, and we can work with our clients through an additional project or managed services. A lot of times with a new implementation, the first focus, kind of that phase one focus, is to get live, get up and running in the system. And a lot of times it's a phase two where we build out the reports and dashboards to really get the analytics once everything settles down and everybody gets accustomed to the system. But definitely something that our team can support if there's anything that we can do to help build out those reports, whether it's our team building them out, us training a team to build these out. But it does take a bit of time, but it's also very customized to what you're looking for your business. So it's getting that combination of the system functionality with your needs and requirements.
Great. I've got a question coming in here through the chat that's, I think Kelsey could answer this. Now, Kelsey, you play many roles at Armanino. You're leading our ProServe industry, but you're also in our accounting outsourcing practice as well. So you manage a team of people that are using Intacct every day to do the accounting work for our clients. In what ways are you, in your practice area, are you using AI within Sage?
Yeah, that's a great question. A couple of different ways so far. So one is on the AP side, like Annie said, having the invoices through like agentic AI, like auto coding, getting them ready so that we can just go in and approve. We're also using AI when it comes to coding for client and then reporting for clients. So we have clients with really big sets of data on billable time, on like profitability per project, per matter for a law firm. And we're able to use AI to strip out like the significant pieces and prepare like a thoughtful analysis. We also, what Annie is showing right now, I think is key for a lot of our clients. So we'll do the day-to-day accounting, but they might still have a CFO. And so we'll use automation to make the month end close faster so we can close in 2 or 3 days instead of 10 or 15 days. But then the CFO has this dashboard that they can look at throughout the close process and see as the numbers change and then when they're locked and finalized.
Oh, that's cool. We've got just under 10 minutes left in our time here today. Annie, was there anything else you wanted to show or demo? I
have
do have some
so
more
much more.
questions. Okay, well, why don't you show
We don't
one
have
or
to
two more
cover it all.
things? Yeah, we probably don't have enough time for all of it, but stay tuned. Maybe we'll do a round 2 of this webcast and do more advanced stuff as well.
Yes, and while we're on kind of the ease of use of the dashboards, I know these look kind of big and scary. Some of these pieces are super easy. So if we're looking at these KPIs, this is really easy, this one. So if I click this little gear here, all this piece is here is we're telling it that our account group is revenue. We're comparing it against budget. And if it is above budget, then we're going to have a green arrow. So some of these pieces are super easy. I think the challenging part about building out this reporting is really understanding what you want to review your business and being able to kind of share that so that these can be built out.
These report cards and like the color coding that you can do are really beneficial to your department heads who are not necessarily accounting focused, but still need to be held accountable to a budget and certain profitability metrics, you can create for them a scorecard as to where they're tracking. And it's a little bit more digestible than sending them reports and having them figure it out on their own.
Yes. And we only looked at this one, but there are many more where we could set the project manager as well, where you can see a different view. So the project manager is looking at very different analytics than
Yeah,
a
more
CFO.
operational type stuff.
Yep. And this one gives you the opportunity to filter for maybe the specific group of projects that the PM is assigned to, or even one project where they can filter down to look at the detail against one. So a lot of information, and the filters really make it easy for you to filter down the data and then be able to drill in to what's important to you.
Cool. There's a question here. We're kind of getting up to the end here, but it's what should we do to get started is what they're asking. I guess the first thing to get started would be contact us, and we have an intake form with a questionnaire that we can help. That'll get us to ask you some key questions that you're trying to achieve. Then we can show you a personalized demonstration of Sage Intacct and put together the time frame and the module set that is tailored to your business. But we do have a slide, Annie, and maybe we should that one last slide because it does talk about getting started. And
Sorry, I went too far.
Okay. Yeah. So, how do you select a system? How are you going to get it implemented? Well, that's something that we are experts in implementation and in AI automation. So, before any AI, you'd be in a reactive mode and you would be doing, things one off, maybe in silos, data silos of information. But with AI, we can help you with automation. As Annie showed, a lot of the KPIs of what Kelsey talked about with what we're doing with our clients on AI. You can really work smarter and faster and get the right information. And what does this result in? It results in a quicker, more rapid implementation, reduced rework, and overall better outcomes for our clients. So we like to, really focus on the outcomes, and it has to be, as Annie said, we need to tailor this to you, what you're looking for and what you're trying to achieve in your business. So that's what we ask you, and that's how we operate. If you go to the last slide, it's just wanted to show them if they want to write down our email addresses, or you can connect with any of us on LinkedIn. I have all that other information, and we say you can't spell Armanino without AI, haha. But, we're experts in this field and in this area. We have over 2,500 Sage Intacct client implementations under our belts. We have had an AI lab for going on 3 years now. So this is not just something we did a pop-up shop last week on. We have experts that around the country that do this for a living. And, I speak on the topic all the time. Any one of us, Kelsey, would be happy to talk to you more about an industry perspective. Annie on more of the specifics of an implementation, and me on any of the topics. We're here if you have any other questions. We've got a couple more, I think 3 more minutes. Let me go to the chat. There's one on ROI. Do you have a ROI on any AI, on time saved, error reduction, or cost savings? Well, in addition to that I'm a partner here at Armanino and head up our business development for Sage Intacct, I'm also the board chair of the Controllers Council, and I founded Cloud Accounting Institute. Over the years, I've done many, many research projects, and we're updating it now for AI. And the ROI is return on investment, but it's looking like it's about a 6-month payback period from time of signing the contract to realizing your payback. And then it's about a 200% annual rate of return is what I personally have done this research on and have followed. And I think it's only going to get better and more rapid with AI. So I'll have to keep tabs on that one and redo my ROI analysis here into 2026 for our newer AI-enabled clients and see how that goes. But we're expecting it to be even more rapid and more valuable. And that means more time for you to review things and not do things. Thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate it. And I think Allie told you we're going to There'll be a link to download the slide deck and everything. But please do reach out to us directly. We are happy to help. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Yeah. Thanks,
Thanks,
everyone.
Annie and Kelsey.
Thank you.